Good evening, challengers, and we welcome you back to our game number 2 from a match 1 of China versus Thailand wildcard. So, guys, once again, my name is Vulcan. With me is Saya.
Hello there,
Will-
everyone.
Will be your shotcasters entering game number 2. So, Saya, coming from our game number 1, you gotta hand it to China's draft. You gotta hand it to the way they, played the minds of Thailand wildcards, leaving open one of the powerful heroes, but in a way. Cleverly for China, they had plans to just trap them and just lock down the Flash. I mean, you guys saw the match summary of the game 1. You saw that the Flash had 0 participation. That means a lot.
That's true. And I'm pretty sure that in this next game, we are going to see that they're not going to let leave a signal open this time.
So
I'm pretty sure.
That's one of the things where the Flash can actually have a disadvantage. I mean, you want to go for burst. Any type of hero, actually, you want to go for burst. You have a heal, you're pretty much done. So, I think so. Now we'll be moving on to game number 2. We'll see, though, because the way that the game has been progressing for China is that they're pretty much good at zoning out Thailand wildcards. So, coming into a game number 2, let's hope that the Thailand wildcards have something on their hand here as we move on to game number 2, drafting phase of Thailand wildcards versus China.
That's right. And for the first ban here of Team Thailand wildcard, we have a Teamy still. And on to Team China, they're still banning out Superman here. Let's see if are they finally going to ban out the Xenial right here? Or since they're in the blue side, are they going to pick it?
We'll see, Zaya, because at this part, at least they are banning out one of the ridiculous supports, the Teamy, and the Superman on the red side, kind of forced to do that. So let's hope that wildcards know how to shuffle around these bans because Fennec has been removed, and for China, the Violet.
It is. I think they're already banning the ones that were used onto the previous game, but I'm still expecting more of the priority for Xenial or a Malak right here because if they don't ban any of the two, I think it's going to be a bit tricky for Team Thailand.
Maybe for China they will be forced to ban out the Xenial, but we'll see because Thailand they can actually control how the last ban will go. They're taking their time. Okay, it will actually be Thailand wildcards banning out the Xenial. They don't want to risk too much. We'll just remove it instead.
And for Team China right here, I think they're going to ban out the Malak in response to that. Or if they're confident enough to actually face the Malak right here, they're going to just ban a different one. Let's say the Omen is also there. We also have the Wonder Woman. The Flash also, and we also, if you notice the previous games, Max is also being banned out right there. So I want to see as well.
So we'll see though. I mean, Alice is actually open right now, and as Saya said, the Malak has been removed for game number 2.
That's right, which leads also to a good opening for the various heroes that I mentioned earlier, alongside with Aurum right there. And this time it's Thailand who's going to be in the hands of this lovely hero. Let's see what China has won in response.
Maybe they have a plan to try and fix the issue of what they saw in game number 1, with Thailand taking away the armor from China. So, Lubu being one of the prioritized hero as of now, will be hovered by China.
Well, no questions asked as to why it's one of the high priority because it can actually survive skirmish fights, going for split pushes if ever possible, and also good with team fights as well. And we'll see what's the next pick. What's the next hero to be chosen for Team China?
Yes, let's look at the timer. 20 seconds left here.
But I think since the Liliana and the others are open, this is like a wide variety of heroes and strategies right here. So it's very nice if both sides of the team are aware of which composition to play.
I mean, Alice is open here, but looks like Joker will be taken away by China. So as of now, there's still a lot of opportunities up in the air. Wonder Woman is normally paired up with Alice pretty well. They work so well together, but we'll see if they will go hand in hand for Thailand wildcards draft. We did see it in previous days of the boot camps where has been used by Thailand main with the Alice and Wonder Woman combo.
Yes, I mean, you wouldn't see any match like them not together or them sometimes being enemies. But yeah, since they're, if like you said a while ago, they're open and LC. Oh, but well, we see here that they picked initially a Tolan, in pair with an Alice, which is also good. It's not a bad pick.
So Thailand has been banned actually previously by Thailand, but they were playing the red side. Now they're in the blue side. They will trade things off with a Thailand and an Alice. Because I was actually expecting an Alice pick. Maybe I thought it would be a Wonder Woman, but looks like it will be a Thailand.
That is true. I think they're already confident enough to give this Tolan a try for this, since they're the ones who banned Tolan in the first place, right? So I think they're confident enough to use him right here. And let's see right now what Team China has for an answer.
I mean, when it comes to answering the drafts, let's hope that for Thailand wildcards, note that everyone, this is a best of 3 with China taking away our game number 1. So this is actually wildcard's best chance to force a game number 3. We're seeing the Hammer, we're seeing the Tulan and the Alice on their side. So it won't be a mistake for Thailand wildcards to go for some powerful invades, but I think China has some answers towards those powerful lockdowns. The Chongnar and the Liliana being hovered on the red side.
That is true. My personal favorite is already picked once again, and we see that elephant. You know how difficult this Chognar is once you get to have an encounter with it, especially when it's already on the leading side or in the good side. And China using this as an answer for an Alice Chulin here, because considering that Alice is a squishy hero when it comes to the early to the mid phases of the game, and Chognar here can be a good initiator for that.
And you did mention the Oman was open. Now it will be hovered on to Thailand wildcard side with the Ryoma. Okay, we're seeing a lot of heavy pokes here coming in from Thailand wildcards. But for China, they do have the Chognar. They have means to protect, means to cleanse, and a way to survive the lockdown coming from Thailand wildcards. But as I always say in the caster desk, everyone, I mean, you can get the fanciest tools, fanciest cars, but if you can't even drive or use it properly, it is useless. It all comes down to proper execution, and I believe that both of these teams has what it takes to fully utilize these picks. But now, one thing has come into play is the way the invades would go. I mean, wildcards have powerful invades here, but for China, I'm pretty sure they're forced to just give away some buffs towards wildcards.
That's true. Oh, by the way, I kind of borrowed your coat yesterday, so I have to apologize for
My
that.
coat?
Yes, proper execution. I borrowed that.
Okay.
And we see a Zephys right here. Very nice answer in response to Team Thailand's composition.
Okay, when you think about the Zephys guys, you can think of this guy as a tank, but I like him as more of an assassin. So Zephys is one of the most flexible heroes that we did see a staple throughout the Valor Cup Season 2 in our Valiant server. But when it comes to being played in the bootcamp, I'm pretty excited to see how China will utilize this pick. This concludes our drafting phase.
That is right, and we will see now both teams. I mean, they're already showing that they deserve to be on the spot of the boot camp right here, also into the World Cup. And so far, when it comes to team compositions, I'm already in my opinion, of course, I'm going for Team China right here. How about you?
I'm pretty much expecting a game number 3, so I'm hoping that Thailand wildcards, they do go off with a great start and a great invade, but it all comes down to maybe luck or proper rotations and executions around the map. So when it comes to Thailand wildcards, they have tools to make it happen, but we'll see once we load up to the Antares battlefield.
That's right. I wonder as well on how they're going for again. Are they going for the classic invade onto the early seconds of the game, or they're just going for an early pickoff? Let's see about that.
And we'll see it once we load up to the battlefield. Already off the bat, Thailand wildcards are ready to go for some point guard. Looks like we won't see a full-on invade here. The way they're moving on the map, they're just gonna go for defense here, but China has other plans. China wants to play an AOV game right, because we're gonna see an invade happening by China. They see Romeo, he backs away, Okay. So now Wildcards, they're going for the aggressive 3-man invade here. This Sage Golem will be taken down and being given to the Roma.
That was a very good early going for the golem right there, like I mentioned earlier. But we see here that China, you have to acknowledge the bravery that was executed on both sides of the team. But so far we see no casualties right now.
Like I said before, guys, when you talk about the Alice being picked in, you want to go for those 3-man invades. You're pretty much guarantee the first blood if the enemy does not respect their pick. But that's the case for China. They know the risks. They will back off.
So far, Alice staying right here onto the middle side of the lane, hoping to aid the Tolan in need. So far, we see a 2v1 battle right here onto the top side of the lane, but just a little bit of pokes. Not so much of happenings.
Yeah, Romeo was up in the air, but looks like Yichen was a bit too late to respawn. Was spotted out by the Tolan. Won't do funny works here. But seeing how the levels, we want to observe how they will scale. The Abyssal Dragon will spawn in 21 seconds, and already in the bot lane, they get some priority there. Now China, they're actually being invaded closely by the Wildcards because of this cutesy little Alice.
That's right. I like also the confidence that's being conveyed by Team Thailand here to actually give the slight pressure for Team China. So far, we see that the Aurum is guarding up the Abyssal Dragon right here. And so far, there's still no casualties or any pickoffs that are happening.
I mean, when you're talking about the first Abyssal Dragon spawning, Zaya, you want to do things right. You want to do it in a way that there's not much risks. But if there are risks, at least it's not that high risk, no reward scenario, or high risk, low reward scenario for Wildcards. But seeing how the lanes are being pushed in, they're trying to stop it here because 3 members of China are going in for that gang. TAOZ is quite low. Goodbye, TAOZ. Hello, first blood. But wait a minute. Okay, Yichen will be taking away that first blood. I thought they were actually trying to give it towards the Joker. But let's not risk it. Let's just wipe it out immediately before we lose the Chugnar.
That was a good example of what you just told about risks right there, because as much as they wanted to give it to their marksman, of course, the friends of Aurum are already there, so it's better to secure it than never. Meanwhile, Alice here trying to poke off the Abyssal Dragon, but we see onto the top side of the lane, we have Tolan in a very sticky situation there, was successfully slain by Zephys.
But it's okay. Romeo has taken away the tower in the DS lane, but I'm pretty sure he's dead at this point. He won't get away with his life, but it's not going to be too worth for Wildcards here. But looks like China are going for the contest here, but Wildcards will take it away with ease.
That's right. Meanwhile, while they're taking the Abyssal Dragon here, China confidently going in for that top side of the tower right here, just for an even Stevens kind of play off right here.
So I think, let's think of it this way, Abyssal Dragon, it's okay. But Abyssal Dragon with the cost of a tower is somehow understandable because in the long run, this will ramp up the Wildcard chances to take away this game number 2.
Correct, and we see here that the Joker Liliana is already together right here. I mean, I think they're waiting for that good opening for someone to actually poke them, and somehow going for another pickoff. But they're just gonna get the Sentinel here for a little bit of bonus for themselves. And we see the Tolan going into the bottom side of the lane.
And so far, the Lubo doing its job there in the DS lane to push it out. But seeing how the lanes are being rather the heroes being rotated in. They want to aim for this mid lane fight here. An engage by Liliana gets denied because the Ryoma stun did connect here. 4 members now rotating towards the bot lane.
Meanwhile, Team Thailand, knowing that this is going to happen, they all are easily back away right there because, hey, you don't want to take that risk of being killed by more members of Team China over there.
Wildcards are pacing themselves pretty well, but in a way for China, they're funneling down their gold towards that Zephys, so they need to be careful not to give too much lead towards one single hero. Otherwise, Wildcards, they have means to survive. They have the Alice and Hesifit, but China, they have ways to make things work here.
And of course, I'll agree with you on that statement because if Team Thailand gives away just easily onto Team China, it's going to be difficult. Meanwhile, we see an engagement right here again.
From the China squad, Chaos Protection was used by China to survive the fight. It has been denied. They have lost their armor. So TAOZ has been taken down across the maps here. Looks like the fight in the bot lane It was a pretty close call for 98k, but in the end, at least the wild cards were able to try and stop the bot lane, but China took advantage of that, went straight to the DS lane. Now starting the Abyssal Dragon.
That's right. I think China here is not going to go down without a fight right here as well. And we see here that the Omen is just taking away some sort resources of Team China here, just so that they would have it in limited. And we see that the Joker Zeph is going close together just in case they need an aid from a friend.
But looks like the Alice will be cut off here. Lydia going in hard onto KSSA. KSSA has been taken down with Nanwan taking him down. Meanwhile, a re-engage coming in from the Zephys here. And looks like Nanwan will be up for grabs here. But in the end, the Liliana is gone. Chaos Protection has been used. Thailand Wildcard scrambling against China and cleaning up this fight. But look at Yichen going in for the Joker. What a decisive strike coming from the Zephys. Wait a minute, not over just yet. Yichen's quite low, but it'll be Kid taking him down.
Ooh, I was wondering what was he doing there, just standing, knowing that the Ryoma was there, confidently can actually take him down easily because of his low health. But that was a good pickoff, if I say so myself.
A great start for wildcards, and they did manage to wrap up that fight in their favor. The kill score, the trade-off was more on majority on their side, so that's a good thing for them. Goal lead-wise, it's evened out, despite the fact that the China squad did manage to steal away the second Abyssal Dragon spawning in this game, makes it their first. That's why we see an equal goal here.
Meanwhile, they're still going here onto the mid side of the lane, clumping it together, but now going onto the top side because they don't. Team China here is going to be careful now because it's getting trickier and trickier as the time progresses right here for both sides of the team.
Okay, I want to see how the wildcards will play this out here because we're seeing China, 3 members are in the DS lane. Romeo can't afford to be picked up here. He's going for the Spirit Sentinel. Kid joins him in, same with the Alice, hiding in that brush. 98k has been spotted out, but it'll be Romeo taking it away.
Correct, and we see here that Team Thailand is already grouping up together. I think they already is aware of that what the Team China can do when they're separated. But now they're here, going for the Abyssal Dragon. It's going to be uncontested right here. I mean, the Lubu can't really do much because the numbers matter, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and it'll be wildcards taking away their second Abyssal Dragon. China got one. But I think for CN, they are trying to set things up in the DS lane. Romeo is forced to flicker away.
But so far, of course, he manages to survive right there. And we could see here, that was a good opportunity for Team Thailand to actually put the mid lane down.
This is great for wildcards. Not only are they pushing away the outer mid lane towers, they're setting things up for the Dark Slayer. But for the Chinese squad, they have taken away, wow. What a dive! Going up to Romeo, 4 members just destroying each Romeo and now removing the Omen from this fight. Now they're going in for tower dive, Yichen leading the charge and locking down the Alice with JunJun taking the Alice down. Chaos Protection has been popped by 98k to get out of that tower dive. Meanwhile, TAOZ may go for the flank here. Will stop. Won't commit anymore.
This is what I was talking about. I mean, Alice being squishy right here. And it was a good call for Joker to actually target that Alice right there because it will give them more of the upper hand. But meanwhile, we see right here that they're not going in for that mid lane right here, even though it's a candidate to be destroyed, because I think they're more focused on getting more resources as much as they can to actually close the gap. Well, actually, when it comes to gold count, they're still close. Not too much of a gap right there.
But they do have to watch out for the Joker that may scale pretty well soon. But seeing how the Abyssal Dragon is somehow in control in the wildcard side, looks like China on the red side will play the sneaky game here. They need to pick up members clever or with ease, no risk there. Okay, 98k has been locked down and that's going to be an easy pickup for Drewwy.
Meanwhile, we see here that the Zephys, Joker, and the Liliana going onto the top side of the lane to have a revenge squad for their fallen comrade right there.
Revenge kill happening for China, for Thailand wildcards, but for China, they did want to get something in return. Looks like they will go for a 1-for-1 trade.
Meanwhile, this is a good opportunity for Team Thailand to actually get that Abyssal Dragon right here. So far, we see that the Team China wasn't able to respond to that in the nick of time.
Okay, looks like JiuSheng wanted to go for an engage there. Romeo goes in with a hard one. That's going to be JunJun flickering over that wall. Romeo chasing down that Joker. Now they change towards the Lubu. Kid takes him down. That's going to be Yichen. You're forced to ult away. Same with Nanwan flickering away. They don't want to fight against Thailand wildcards. They're kiting away. 98k is there for the quick response there, but looks like China will fight back against TAOZ. But here comes Romeo for the engage. Nanwan takes down the armor. Members of China's squad, they have the numbers advantage. 98k is slow, but it's fine. They don't care. They have the means to clear out that fight. They only lost the Lubu, but for Thailand wildcards, they lost the Romeo. They lost TAOZ. The armor and the Omen has been removed from this fight.
That is correct. That was a very, it wasn't really that clean, but it was a good call for Team China right there because they know the ability, they know their abilities. They utilize their kit into the maximum point that they managed to slightly flip that skirmish fight right there.
Okay, what a stun connecting by the Lilian onto the Alice, but JiuSheng gets immediately stunned back by the Ryoma. Safely gets away from that skirmish. Kind of a risky situation for the wildcard squad. Clever move there.
Meanwhile, Tulin here trying to engage onto the Joker, but was easily it's engaged because look at that damage coming from the Joker right
Yeah,
there.
at this point it's gonna be this Joker, the great reward for China for sticking this game quite a long time. So this is gonna be them reeking in that reward. So 98k has been slowed, stunned by Kit, taking a lot of heavy damage from the Ryoma.
Meanwhile, Thailand here trying to attempt on getting onto the Dark Slayer because they see no potential enemies just yet.
Wow, this
They
is
will
great.
take it uncontested. My oh my, China, what are you doing? Why aren't you there?
Looks like China, they are thinking ways to go for those contests, Saya, but in a way, looks like the wildcards will take away the first Dark Slayer. They will take away the fourth Abyssal Dragon, the third one for themselves. Gold lead is now 2k, but that doesn't matter when the members of the Thailand wildcards will be going in for the DS lane. All members are jacked up with the Dark Slayer buff. How will China respond?
So for Team Thailand has to use this buff as long as they have it because, well, of course, who wouldn't want to use this into their advantage? And that's what I just said. They already starting to push the top side of the tower.
They're pretty much fearless at this point. Good job for them. Wildcards, I said before that I want to see them come back to this game 2 with a way that this will force a game 3. I was expecting a game 3 there, and this will be the reward for wildcards if they don't get picked up like this, because Romeo was offering pressure in the bot side. Now Thailand has lost one member. China has the numbers advantage, but wildcards has the Dark Slayer buff. China, will they go for the engager? Yichen is trying to look for the right time to strike. Going in hard. And it's going to be the armor dealing that damage. Yichen, lockdown. Chaos protection has been used to cleanse away from this fight. Wildcard going back. Now we're going for the flag. Here comes JiuSheng for that engage. And here comes Nanwan for the onslaught ring. China going in hard. Wildcard losing this fight. Kid and Drewwy, only one remaining in the mid-outer tower.
What a flip of a coin right there. Good job done from China. I mean, the Team Taiwan had that Dark Slayer right there. They could have been fearless right there, but since they already lost a member too early, one member too early, it would have been not into the good hands because they had that disadvantage when it comes to the numbers.
You know, I was talking about how wildcard's chances was pretty good, but when it comes to the Omen failing to offer that crucial pressure in the bot lane, that gives China enough confidence to just go ham on the mid lane, because wildcards having the Dark Slayer, but you saw how the Chinese squad immediately respected that. You saw how they were backing away. But once that Omen was picked off, that was what China was looking for, and that's why they have just denied the Dark Slayer buff.
That is true, but we see that Thailand here getting more resources for the red side jungle right here. Limiting more resources for Team China. They're not giving up here just yet because they are taking the Abyssal Dragon as their 5th one here.
That is great. Look at that sweet gold lead. China was able to safely stop the Dark Slayer push, but in a way, still giving that hefty gold lead to wildcards Thailand. that's still hope for the fans of Thailand there, because now they're aiming for this DS lane. Now they're aiming for pickups here, but will it work out in their favor? Okay, Omen's do the same thing he did, going in for the push in the bot lane.
Looks like they're still aiming for that split push on the side, but here we see that Team Thailand's already come up together onto the middle side of the lane. They're going in for the tower. Will they get it?
98K survives for now. Looks at the high ground tower. Will still stand. TAOZ gets cut off here. JiuSheng again with the decisive engage. With the Lubu. Two members melting away under that clash there. Looks like he does come back from the dead. JiuSheng still engaging onto Kid. Kid does fight back. Kid is forcing out a flicker from JiuSheng, forcing him out of that fight with Romeo going into this fight for that flag. Looks like 3 members of China has been wiped out from this fight.
That's right, and now is a good chance for Team Thailand to actually put the middle side of the lane down, which gives China more and more pressure as Team Thailand is going near onto their core.
Great execution from the wildcard squad, using the Omen to pressure. Yeah, they took down the high ground tower. Now China only has 3 members to defend. The last high ground tower stands in the top lane for China. They won't give it away just yet.
Looks like Team Thailand here still going on for resource taking because they don't want to waste any more time here.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. I mean, okay, you're having a goal lead of 7,000 in this part of the game, in 60 minutes into the game. It's not the fact that wildcards, they don't need it, but they don't want to give it. That's the thing we're seeing here. They're just getting everything they can. They're just leaving nothing for China to pick up, no means to bounce back. But note that this Joker, look at the KP of this Joker, 100%, 16 out of 16. But this will be the 6th Abyssal Dragon going to wildcards. It's only a matter of time with this great goal lead, this huge lead, will secure this game too. But let us not lose hope for China.
Meanwhile, Thailand here not already going too much far away together, but Omen here still onto the bottom side of the lane. Ooh, looks like we have a little pause right here.
A slight delay for our challengers watching, but hang on, it's still okay. The game is still progressing, no trouble there. Now back to how the games are being pushed in. Kill score is 10 to 16. Now only 1 high ground tower stands. They're doing by the book push here by wildcards.
So much limit onto that resources from China because Team Thailand's getting everything that they could have gotten right there. And seeing here that Team Thailand is already grouped up on the top lane and Omen being onto the bottom side of the lane.
Ah yeah, Romeo trying to flicker away, but it gets cut off again. This is what happened to the wildcards, but they will take that trade-off with taking down the Juggernaut. The last high ground tower has been destroyed by the wildcards finally, so this just penetrates the map. This makes the map for wildcard easier to control.
But we see here the Lubu split pushing the bottom side of the lane right here. I think he's going in for the second, the middle tier for the bottom side of the lane right here. Are they trying to go for a split push? No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we see that the Thailand here still they are aware that China is split pushing right here.
Okay, look at this, guys. Yichen and JunJun waiting for the re-engage here. They go on to the Alice. KSSA, will you survive? Liliana going for the execute. Gets stopped by Drewwy. TAOZ is there for the members of China to just scramble around. They are forced out from the fight thanks to the armor. Now it will be the Lubu doing a great job in the bot lane, pushing it really hard.
That was a close call from the Alice right there. If it hasn't been stopped, thanks to the comrade right here. But it's already 19 minutes of the game. This is getting intense here as it gets.
Okay, guys, like I said before, wildcards, they can go into game number 3. But for China, do you think they want that? Nah, they don't want it. They want to end this game as fast as they can, smooth as butter. 2-0 is the game for China, but wildcards, they still want to go on a day with China. They want to know China even more by forcing game number 3. But now, looks like, looking at the map, Seiya, we're seeing the members of China in a good position to actually take away the Abyssal Dragon.
But we see here as well that Thailand is in a perfect position to get that second Dark Slayer right here.
Here it comes. Oh yeah, Wicked going for the Dark Slayer. While China, they don't know what's happening here. 98K has a good hunch that the Dark Slayer, the second one, goes to the wildcards.
But we see here that Team China, Lubu right here, is onto the bottom side of the lane, waiting for that wave of minions to actually attempt a split push. But Omen is here, going in for the engagement.
Nanwan tried his best to cover some damage for JiuSheng, but he's pretty much tanking here. Romeo's taking a lot of damage. Okay, leave him for dead. He's done with Drewwy going on an ultimate streak.
That thing could have been good if China's already going forward to the mid lane, but unfortunately they didn't do just that, which leaves to Team Thailand going in for that middle side of the lane.
All they're doing right now, China, why did they go for JiuSheng pushing the bot lane? What they're doing, guys, is called buying time, because look at your screens right now. You can see the timer of the Dark Slayer. 40 seconds left. I think this is pretty much dead meat for Yichen, but great wall hop there. JunJun forced to take her away. Survives for now. 32 seconds left on the Dark Slayer buff. 30 seconds left. Will JiuSheng respond in time? 10 seconds left on this Lubu. 5 members of the wildcards not stopping just yet. 98k buying at most of the time he can here. Looks like the wildcard. They see the core. They see game number 3.
GG WP. Good job done by the Thailand wildcards right there. Woo!
What a game we saw for ourselves here. Great job by Thailand wildcards. I was saying that I want to see a game number 3. I got what I want, and I'm pretty much happy for Thailand wildcards. They are showing what they've got in the best of 3 series, and I did see some fans from Thailand wildcards rooting in the YouTube stream there. So huge respect to Thailand wildcards. But for China, they had a great start in game number 1. But come game number 3, let's see how things will pan out, Saya.
That is true, but of course, seeing the performances of both teams right here, it's really exceptional. I mean, you gotta acknowledge both sides of the team for actually staying that long to this match.
On your screens right now, you can see the match summary. Thailand wildcards will force a game number 3. They have won this match with a kill score of 15-17.
Looks like both teams are showing their worth as to, hey, we deserve to be here. We deserve that to compete for our region, and you can actually see the stats right now.
But JunJun tried his best to catch up to this game. Look at that KP. As I said before, 100% KP. But seeing how the damage is major, look at the damage dealt by Drewwy on this Tulen. That's why we see Tulen being banned out most of the times in our games. But since wildcards were able to pick it, this will be the game going to their side.
That is right. Looks like Team China is here going aware of what Thailand wildcards can do, and pretty sure it's going to be banned onto the 3rd game that we're going to have.
Who knows? But what I do know is that we'll go into a short break after this game number 2. So guys, thank you so much for watching the AWC Bootcamp Group Stages. My name is Vulcan. With me was Saya. Thank you so much for watching and supporting your favorite teams in the AWC Bootcamp. We'll see you after the short break for game number 3.